Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Welcome back to Royally Confidential, the show that takes you behind palace gates through leading headlines and highlights places and people, the gems of London and the UK. We're spotlighting the wonders that make Britain royally unforgettable while giving our much waning tourism industry a much needed boost. I'm your host, Helena Chard, broadcast journalist and royal expert, right here in the centre of London. And today's episode is titled A Little Pocket of Gratitude. So cannot wait to share the cultural delights, charming quirks of London and bridge the UK and the US with a little sparkle. And I'm always so thrilled because joining me, as always, from across the pond is the kind, luminous, award-winning author, humanitarian and creative spark, and so much more, Diann Floyd Boehm. Diann!
Hi, it's great to see you.
Oh, so good to see you. How are you doing?
Well, we just celebrated Thanksgiving here, and as you know, in the States, in the 13 colonies, we have a lot to give thanks to you guys in the UK because, you know, we started out British, and so the harvest is very important to celebrate, and so I thank you British for bringing that beautiful celebration of the harvest to our, now I say our country, but that's one of our bridges, is the gratitude of this harvest. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm sure you've had a really lovely time. It's not been quite the same here in the UK, I have to say. But we can chat about that. But I just also wanted to say as well that we're thrilled that we're going to actually be chatting about you as well as life as an author and diving into your new published book, Boomer Sees the Town, later on in the show. So I'm excited about that.
Thank you.
But as always, let's kick off with a fun fact, Diann.
Yes.
So it's quiz time.
Oh,
Here
no.
we go. So, okay, let's kick off with which of these iconic museums is the biggest? So we have the British Museum in London or the Metropolitan Museum of Arts in New York.
Oh my gosh, they're so fabulous, both of them, aren't they?
We're so lucky, aren't we, to have so much culture in the world? It's just beautiful. But which one is bigger?
Oh my gosh, you know, I've been to both, but I'm going to say the British because y'all have more history.
Okay, so actually, funnily enough, you have one and you haven't one. It's a bit of a tricky one.
Okay.
In that, the British Museum in London is one of the largest, most comprehensive museums, and it has a collection of around 8 million objects, which is amazing, which is huge. So from that point of concern, you're correct. So well done. The Metropolitan Museum of Arts in New York City, which I haven't been to, although I've seen it online, which I know sounds mad. It's obviously very large and a renowned museum, but it has 2 million works of art.
Wow.
But in terms of physical space, so it depends on which way you could have taken that. The British Museum is something like It's 807 square feet, whereas the Met is 2 million square feet.
Wow. Who knew?
So as you can imagine, I know we've got a couple of pictures, I think 1 and 2, just showing really the outside of the museums, but it's they're so grand, both of them. And
spectacular. I love the columns. It's just so
are they? It's just a force for if ever I need any culture, I always wander off to a museum. I have to say my favourite is the V&A, but we're not talking about that today. But also, did you know, Diann, that the British Museum's collection is more extensive and diverse, spanning over 2 million years of human history and culture? How about that?
I did not know that. I was just wondering if everybody should bring a sleeping bag and stay for a month.
Wouldn't it be fun? I've always wanted to do that. Reminds me of a film. Anyway, here's your award. When I see you next time,
yay!
you win. You are a winner. Diann Floyd Boehm, you are a winner. So anyway, let's get back to today's theme. So it's slightly different in that it's a little pocket of gratitude, and it's a heartfelt look. And it's a theme that's basically resonated across the pond this November, as you mentioned. So, and also this is a very good time as well to thank you, Diann, because we've never really spoken about it on air, because you are the sponsor of this show. So a big thank you for that. Most appreciative of that. So thank you. And also we had you inspired me with the title of the show, because we had this chat. And you were telling me about your Thanksgiving traditions, and it sort of whisked me back to my childhood. And I had a little church at the top of the road where we'd fill baskets with food for families in need. And it was slightly different. We don't mark Thanksgiving like you do with the public holiday and the grand feast. But I guess we do, in a sense, we'll have meals with family and friends. And I was thinking about it and giving it a lot of thought, because I loved those days when I was younger. It was a chapel I used to go to. It was absolutely beautiful. But then I was thinking the modern Harvest Festival here is, yes, the meals and everything, but also we've got the ever busy food banks, which operate all year round. So it's slightly different slant, but obviously giving to the needy. And of course, we had our Labour budget the other day, so the weight of the world is on lots of people's shoulders at the moment, and it's precisely the time that a pocket full of gratitude really can be a lifeline. So you mentioned, Diann, with your Thanksgiving, were you with lots of family? And
yes,
here.
So every year, ever since I was a little kid, we started with my daddy's family, which was huge, 9 brothers and sisters. And so you can imagine how many cousins and so forth. And that now, as tradition has continued as everyone gets older. So one of my brothers hosts it. And so this year we had 45 people show up.
Wow. Who was doing the cooking?
We all did cooking. Well, I didn't. I was
good.
Driving from Virginia, so I donated. But yeah, it's incredible. It's fun. It's a way of making sure cousins get together at all different ages, and they just have an absolute blast. My brother has 2.5 acres, so there's all types of games and things going on, and football for the guys if they need to watch it. But it's just so exciting. And the reason we can all get along is because there's a rule: no politics allowed. So
always the way, isn't it?
Always happiness. So
perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I've tried that politics thing, and you're best to steer away. It always creates tension, no matter what. Even in WhatsApp groups, it's madness, isn't it?
Yes.
But, so the phrase "a little pocket of gratitude" also refers to a collection of thoughts, feelings, or tiny objects that remind us that what we're thankful for. And also, you get those journals that encourage you to do mindfulness and thankfulness, and you write down, and that helps boost positivity and lower stress. And I mean, basically find the joy in everything, and little things can often go a long way. And you kindly sent me as well your daughter's, she wrote a lovely, eloquent, I'm not sure where it went, was it to the church?
It was
Dr. Rachel.
Yeah, thank you. It was
And
published in the newspaper up in Virginia. So
fantastic, because that's also the inference that she gave as well, and talked about all her fun growing up and celebrating. So that's good, isn't it? How lovely. Enjoyed that. Thank you. But anyway, so I'm going to start off with, I'm going to talk about veg. Now, I know this is a slightly different. So let's celebrate vegetables. Let's celebrate wonky vegetables. Let's eat more vegetables. So that, you know, vegetables being the humble hero, something that I absolutely adore. I love. I you know, I could live on them forever. But I just want to raise awareness, because I was quite surprised at hearing some recent information. I always watch, there's a Sunday show here in the UK called Countryfile, and I adore it. And you sit and you listen to farmers. They talk about their pride in every crop. They talk about their pride in their quirky, wonky, super tasty veg. They sort of say, don't be fooled by these perfect supermarket ones that you see. These specimens may not be as nutritious. And, you know, you hear, and they give these wonderful like recipes, and just it's lovely to see, because you see all the wonderful nature and animals. And it's sort of a heartfelt thank you, I guess, to earth and resources and the farmers who tend to the land. And it goes back actually even before Thanksgiving to, I think it's the 1600s, where people didn't actually feast. They fast, and they prayed, and they gave thanks to the weather, because obviously, I suppose, survival depended on it.
Yes.
But I find that fascinating. But also, did you know, going back to what I discovered, and I know, you know, when you hear these statistics, it's not necessarily just as is, but in this perspective, I was like, wow. So did you know that the British are eating far less vegetables than we did like 50 years ago? It's a national food survey, and it showed that there's been a steady drop overall in root vegetables, particularly. And cabbage sales are down a whopping 80%, 80.
Wow.
Sprouts, Brussels sprouts have plummeted by 87%. How can that be? Love them. And peas have fallen by 74%. I mean,
peas and carrots. Hello.
Hello. Exactly. So, I mean, not great for our growers as well, you know. And I mean, that I just find incredible. Veggies. I mean, let's not forget there will be other veg, I'm sure. But I think there's like fast food, and there's,
That's
you know, it's just not healthy.
Right.
I mean, there's sort of some kind of hope that we have Abel and Cole, the Odd Box. We have different companies where you can have like organic veg, seasonal veg, all different shapes and sizes and colours, delivered to your front door, which is lovely. And then you can it's seasonal, so you can just make your soups and various things. But how can it be? Because from a wellness point of view, we know it's so important to eat veg, and taking heed as well from the super, super healthy people living on this lovely Greek island. In fact, it's not the most beautiful Greek island, but it's amazing in the sense this goes back centuries, Ikaria, where the locals feast on mountains of veg and olive oil. And do you know what? They all live well past the age of 100.
Wow.
And they have very little cases of Alzheimer's and dementia. They literally, I mean, even like, you know, over the centuries, because cemeteries in Greece, that you always have the age it's pronounced on the coffins. What do you call the coffins?
Yeah, that's right.
The tombs, the stones, you know.
Tombstones.
So you look around and you think, gosh, you know, 130, 120, you know, and it's like years and years ago. And also not having it, I just think it's amazing. They actually call it the island where people forgot to die. I sort of laughed when I heard that, but it's something not quite right with that, I think, at the same time. But you know, I just think it's lovely. I know we've got a couple of photographs as well, which just to show Kalia, and as I said before we came on, I think I wanted to show those because I just want to go on holiday. Quite frankly, I want to see some sunshine. And
it's so stunning.
Sea. Yeah, it's
and
beautiful.
The sea is gorgeous. It's it's crystal blue, like you can see all the way down. It's just,
isn't it? I don't know. There's one which is, it's called Seychelles. Funny enough, there's one that it's got white sand. Maybe that's the one you're looking at. And
yes.
yeah, absolutely stunning. I just want to be there. And
now
anyway,
we have with it looks like a shrimp boat, and it.
Yes, and that's pretty, isn't it? It's showing the typical little houses there.
Yeah,
it's not the pretty. It is pretty. I mean, those photographs are stunning, but it's quite a terrain in a way as well, because I imagine that people are quite fit, sort of walking around and everything. But there's nothing more grounding, Diann, than like picking fresh produce. And I've got family in Cyprus, and to be there walking on the land, strolling through olive groves, picking your own veg, and actually even eating it as you're wandering around is lovely. But then you can share it as well. Loads of colourful veg with loved ones. So what do we say? Choose wonky. We need to eat loads of veg, and it doesn't matter what shape it is. We need to be thankful, and it makes us live long. Hey, we've got to take heed from these people that live for such a long time. Are you a veggie? Are you a veg person?
I'm
Diann?
sorry to say no, but somehow my kids to be veggies, but I'm trying to get better. But I'm so grateful for all the hardworking farmers that deliver. And my husband loves to cook, so he makes sure I get my veggies.
Oh, that's good.
And so I love them stir fried, which is probably not the healthiest, but I am getting my roughie in here. And I think what turned me off on vegetables was my mother was always, with 6 children and you're a working nurse, etc. She'd buy those soggy canned vegetables. And anyway, that was.
I could see that's what did it. Probably you hadn't had soggy canned vegetables, which are not the best.
So those aren't.
You would love them.
But I can see how the canned food came about with the wars and so forth. So. I am working on improving, and for everybody listening, do eat at least some raw carrots every day, because I want you to stay healthy, our listeners. So
absolutely.
But just showing that parts of Greece. What else do you have for us?
So I'm going to moving on, a right royal legacy. Now I always like to have, something royal in our shows, and today I'm honouring Princess Diana. Now, she's in the news a lot at the moment, but we'll lead into that. So she still echoes in everyone's hearts around the world, and is sort of remembered for her boundless kindness. She had a really great superpower, of diplomacy, and you realise, especially in times like this, that is worth. Oh wow, you couldn't put a price on it. I mean, she really was the people's princess. She was really the driving force of our nation, cherished by dignitaries, world leaders, everyday family people. And it's a milestone anniversary at the moment. So did you know that this year marks 30 years since do you remember that Panorama interview? I don't know if you ever saw it, but it was with Martin Bashir and Princess Diana. So 30 years ago. Wow. Can you hear me, by the way? I'm hoping you can.
Oh, yes, I can hear you. I'm just amazed that 30 years has passed.
Isn't it incredible? So naughty Bashir, without saying too much, caused a lot of harm. And somebody who I know, Patrick Jefferson, used to be her private secretary. He went through so much heartache over everything that happened, because he absolutely loved, adored and supported her for years. And she had actually a very good circle of people around her that was duped by naughty Martin Bashir, and things are coming out more and more now. I mean, when I think about things, he worked for her for 8 years, and he wants to basically right the wrongs of that whole episode. And it's to do with also justice and paying justice forward. So he was awarded 110,000 in damages by the BBC, because the reason why he had to leave was Diana was led to believe that he was doing underhand things. Anyway, true to his compassion with that money, he's actually given the entire sum to T. Hafan, Now, this is a Welsh children's hospice that Diana supported, and the last thing that he worked with her on.
Wow.
He's saying that money can't undo the hurt, but it's turned something bad into something that feels like a blessing. And he really wants to shine a light on how good she was, how great she would be for the country if she was still here. And that's the sad thing. Can you imagine if she was here, William, Harry, there wouldn't be all of this nonsense because mum would have sorted it out.
Yep.
You know only too well, Diann. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think so. Jefferson, along with Diana, this was towards the end, arranged this wonderful concert, and they invited Luciano Pavarotti, and they raised funds for THAFAN, the new building to be built, because she just started with the building, but tragically she died just before the venue was completed. But her dream of supporting vulnerable children lives on. I know that we have some lovely photos. Have they been shown? I don't know. We have, I think it's 5, 6, and 7. We have a few pictures.
Yes, we saw. There was one of Princess Diana in her plaid, red and check.
Sitting on the step. Yeah, that's her when she was younger.
And walking down the street and
holding her Dior bag. That's the Princess Diana Dior bag that she was given. It was sort of named after her. It's a beautiful shot, isn't it?
It's gorgeous.
Really, really lovely. And
we have her at a it looks like a gala, and they're
okay. So that's Diana at the it's at the ballet, and she's the London Ballet. She was actually a patron. She adored ballet. She was a very good. She performed ballet, and she always used to run into the opera house to watch performances, being patron and everything. She absolutely loved it. So that's her sort of thanking. I think a cast of people, which is
it looked
lovely.
like. Yes, and I actually remember, if you don't mind me interjecting,
of course,
when she did this dance and surprise, I think it was for now King Charles on his birthday, and she danced, and I was blown away. Such a talented dancer she is.
She was wonderful. She actually danced with John Travolta, didn't she, as well? I don't know.
Yeah.
Really good. I think she actually made Charles jealous as well, because she always got the limelight, understandably. But there's a new book out called Andy Webb has written this new book, and it's called Diana-rama, and it's actually undercover. It's basically is talking about deceptive tactics that were used, but moving on from that, what Jefferson's trying to do is to try and show how great she was, and really shining a light on all the good that she did, because for charity as well, it was absolutely amazing. And Princess Catherine's now stepped into the patronage role, and obviously that's ensuring that that her compassion and charitable spirit sort of carries on, so perpetuating, I suppose, the best of Diana's legacy. So that's all good. So we remember Diana fondly. I'm sure you do as well.
Oh, my stars, yes. She was a beautiful role model. I can remember I watched her wedding over and over and over again. And I literally cried when she was in the wreck and was just praying she would survive. But I love how her legacy's living on. This is exciting news. I hope we bring it back up again so that people can is it a book people can purchase?
There's a book that's come out. I mean, it's almost a bit disturbing in a way, and I sort of talking. Not disturbing, it's fact. People are trying to unravel what really happened, and there are some things that have been released which you just sort of think. And I feel so sorry more for William and Harry, the princes, because they wouldn't be at loggerheads, and it must have been so hard at their age as well. So that's really what I think about. So let's see what happens. And of course, she's got the Diana Awards and everything here in the UK. Always, each year, we celebrate her legacy, and it's for young children that are doing their best and shining a light on wonderful things that they achieve. So it continues. We will always be speaking about Diana, of course.
Thank goodness.
And
go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was going to jump into another little subsection that I would normally that I do each month, which is helping of happy. And so I thought I just, from my, it's something that's very close to my heart as well, because it's quite close to where I live. Sorry, Diann, were you going to say something?
No, I want to hear all about
okay. So yes, this is my helping of happy. So did you know, Diann, that there is a hidden oasis right here near me in the heart of London, North London, and it's called Granville Road Spinney.
No.
Now, really? Yeah, Granville Road Spinney in Stroud Green, and it's, how can I say, it's like a tiny forest with this huge, huge history. It's really tiny, and it's something like 0.3 of a hectare of woodland, but it dates back to the 1870s in a way, where the land was farmland. Then the railways arrived, and the neighbourhood grew. So we had like Victorian houses, and people were carrying on their lives. So, but during World War II, a V1 bomb shattered something like 7 Victorian houses, leaving the landscape completely scarred there. Just took 7 houses. They sort of prefabs were built, I think, to house certain people, but then by 1980 they were gone, and it was just left and transformed into this real tranquil retreat, which we all enjoy today. I enjoy, people that live in the area enjoy, and it's a wonderful, it's like a winding path, it's bird song. In fact, there's proof, as somebody called Mary Hogan, who heads up this little group of people that look after the land, and it's the biggest amount of birds within the smallest little area that have been tracked. Wow. And there's like butterflies, bees, frogs, bats, you name it. You've got wonderful meadowland, and it's sort of like more spring, and a mix of like plum trees and hazel, sycamore, more. But it's such a lovely little area. And if you can imagine, there's a big march of like Victorian houses there, and then it's sort of like snuck in there on this road. So it's a really sweet little area. And it's also it's like a learning hub. There's a local school, St Aidan's Primary School, which brings the pupils there and lets them, be outside, learn about the environment and connect with nature. And I suppose learn about conservation. They're very young. They're sort of your age, as in your reader's age, I would say. And, picnics, you've got a little bit of grass, sunny woodland air. I mean, you name it. But it's, as I guess as well, that it's the community champions that keep that going, because, and it's that whole ethos as well that you could take from what we're talking about, is that if everyone just gives a little bit, and it sort of just keeps this sort of charming bit of woodland alive and thriving. Turning gratitude into action. That's what it is, Diann. It's like people getting up and doing things for the best of the world and the people around. And I think that's a really lovely thing. And we did have a little video that I wanted to share, which is called Davis and Daughters, and where you would have seen the Spinney, because they've got wonderful voices, and they were singing. It's like a heal the world song, and it was absolutely stunning. But we can't show it today. Maybe another time. But also within the Spinney, there are rabbits and hares and lots of little jumpy little loveliness running around. And I think this leads us on to Diann Floyd Boehm, your lovely book. I mean, really up close and personal. It's lovely to be able to sort of talk to you, because you are a successful children's author. And it would just be interesting to talk to you about various things. But the book I think that we can promote today, because you are very talented and you have lots of books out, I have to say. But Boomer Sees the Town is, I think, your book that's recently come out. It's a new edition, and it's incredibly special. And I want to put my hand up and say, please, can Boomer come and visit the Spinney? Because I really think he'd have a lovely time, and I'd take him out. It's a lovely area, I promise you. And he'd meet all the beautiful animals.
It's interesting. Thank you for putting the cover up. That was really sweet. So Boomer actually came about because I was in the woods walking every day, and there was always this one rabbit who always seemed to show up at 5:30 in the morning, and hop around. And that's where the inspiration, or at least one of the inspirations, came about with the story. So when you were talking about your woods, I was just thinking about Boomer would love it there. And then you said that. But the other thing that came to my mind is, and I've thought about this quite a bit, is it's amazing to watch the birds and the squirrels, and they all share this, the same tree, and build their nests, and you mentioned so many varieties of animals and so forth, and I'm like, why can't human beings be like that? Just be happy. We might be different, but you want the same thing. You want love, you want food, you want comfort, etc. So I think we should need to pay more attention to what's going around with Mother Nature. So, but
here, absolutely.
I throw that in. But yeah, so I have my book here, this green. Everything's predominantly green, so it's hard to see in the green screen. But this is one of my favorite pictures of where they put the cover back up. But what I did is because boomers, or this rabbit that's been named Boomer, have been in real life, have been like studying different things, would stop and look at the bird and so forth. And so I came up with the story for young children. But, I'm such a believer that children's books are for adults too. And this particular book, and this particular book, because I used to teach young children, and repetition and comprehension and recall is very important. So I bring all that together in this particular book, so that the children towards the end, because all of a sudden Boomer's in the city and never seen anything like it, because he's always been in the forest. And so all of a sudden he's homesick and he wants to go home. So the kiddos all have to recall to help Boomer get back home. And so it's really fun. So
that's really clever, isn't it? Because that's recall as well to young. Can I? With the age groups, is it sort of 4 to 9, or I'm trying to work out the age group?
That's a great question. So it's called a picture book, and they're generally 3 to 8 years old is where it's identified. But of course, a 3-year-old needs a parent or a loved one to read it to them. But the recall, as young as 2-year-olds, I've tried it out, and man, their brains are so sharp, they're not worried about bills. And so they can read really quick. So it's really fun to watch them. And I had my grandson help me pick out the name. What would be Boom? And it was funny, he came up with Boomer, and I said, why Boomer? Because I'm thinking I'm a Boomer child, like, where did he get that name? But he goes, I love bunnies because they hop, hop, hop. And if they hop real hard, it'll be boom, boom, boom. So Boomer.
That's clever. I love that. I was actually going to ask that.
Right?
Oh, that's amazing.
And so then I was writing the book, and I said, and Boomer, you go through a lot of edits. And so I read it to him, and, children will tell you what they think is missing or need or so forth. And so he says, well, Boomer is having flowers, and that's yummy for his tummy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm putting that in there. So now he's so proud. He said, that page is what I wrote.
That's so lovely. See, children just are the best, aren't they, when it comes to this? And as you say, I'm absolutely a believer. I mean, I love any kind of books. I will read with, well, I just think maybe I'm just young at heart. That's not a bad thing, is it? It's just always wonderful. I mean, I was just thinking about all the books that I loved when I was little, and goodness, I mean, it's just really lovely. But I know that this book has got these amazing imagery on it, very vibrant pictures. Diann, how did that all come about?
Thank you so much. Well, in wrapping up about it, actually the story came out once before, but it wasn't taking off. And I realized, and it's a mistake a lot of us authors make, is the illustrations. What would have worked during my day as a young child doesn't work with kids today. So I needed to have it redone. with bright, big eyes and lots of strong colors and so forth. And so that's how that came about. And the artist is just totally amazing. And he's from Indonesia. And I always have a hard time saying his name because it's an Indonesian name, but he did a great job. So it's Surya Ali Sadine. And so my hat's off to him. And he really understood where I was going with the magic of Boomer. And now Boomer has 5 more books, and 2 are being worked on now. Plum Creek Publishing is publishing it, so you can find it on Amazon, and you can purchase it in any country that you want. And you can also order it from your local bookstore, because I'm a true believer in supporting the local bookstores. And with that, do you know what? It's time to go. So I'm going to let you wrap it up about.
Is it really? I am, I am absolutely, I was so excited. I was really looking forward. I was looking forward to hearing more about your book, and I am so shocked. I felt like I was here again.
I want to know that. In Thanksgiving, I'm just so grateful that our 2 countries share something together, and the love that we have for each other, and the connection that we have. Because if anyone's into genealogy like I am, the 13 colonies and everything that your country brought here, we're just totally grateful for. And so thank you so much. And I think we're kindred spirits, and we might even be related, because I have some Welsh blood. So.
Really? Oh, we have to be. Oh my goodness.
I have Scottish, Irish,
amazing.
Welsh, English.
We should do one of these. I need to do a genealogy kit thing and find out.
Yeah.
So we can compare notes.
I did one of those. I'm like 98.9 UK.
Really?
So.
Oh, is that what you think it is? That's so funny. Okay, so it is the thought of the day. I mean, for me, I just think, family, friends, what can I say? You can't, as they say, the best things in life are free, and family and friends absolutely are. Thank you, Diann, as well, as I said, about being a sponsor. Thank you to USA Global TV and Radio as well. Wonderful network. Been with Jacqueline from the beginning, and she's growing and so dedicated to her channel and all her guests and everything. And that's also just grateful as well for the opportunities of networking and getting together, because I think when people are together, you're bigger, you're better. It's it's a chance for people to really thrive. I think that's what I think. So as we're ready to wrap up. We're ready to wrap up then. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us on Royally Confidential, and obviously it's been a great show. We look forward to seeing you next month. Don't forget to tune in next month for more hidden gems from myself and also Diann. Thank you. See you next month.
See you next month. Bye.